protect me. But oh dear. Where is...
Should be something streaming right now. Oh shit, yeah.
What is good?
Does it look good?
Yeah, I see it. I don't know if I can't hear jack shit from the stream. I'm gonna see if I can hear myself. Hello? Oh, it's lagging.
Here we are. What? Wait, who said it was lagging? Yeah. Well, anyway. What's up, guys? How y'all doing? It is your boy Gabester here from Gabester Studios, apparently. Not the G Corner podcast yet. But today we're going to be doing it on Gabester Studios as is. But this will be re-uploaded on the G Corner. So we have a few guests over here today that you guys can introduce yourselves. First, we got methlokaijufan97 over here, 3D animator.
Yo, guys. Hello. And I'm happy to meet all of you.
And of course, we got gojicenter over here, known for battle analysis and face-offs. Worked for a couple projects before in the past.
Yeah, dude. Hey, what's going on, guys? Happy to be here.
And of course, we got the duo over here, dangerville, Jacob and Alistair over here.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
And of course, we got the one cameo, which was last minute expectation, but I didn't expect this cameo over here. But we got Warstu, the guy that
What is
likes
good?
to talk about leaks and also talk about movies in general and what's coming up.
Yep. Well, let's talk
Yes,
about
sir.
random
Yes,
stuff.
sir. Yes. So let's start off with GXK recently, since that's like the highlight of what's really going on nowadays in the Godzilla community and what all the attention is currently focused on right now. After you guys saw the first trailer, what do you guys honestly have to say about that?
Let's be more specific. How about we talk about Pinkzilla? Because that's the thing everyone's talking about.
Yeah, I think that's the number one highlight of everything that happened. Because that trailer was jam-packed with stuff.
Oh boy.
But I think that was the most talked about thing coming from the trailer.
It's
So
the elephant in the room.
Yeah,
It's the elephant in the room.
Yeah,
is everyone here
like,
happy with
kind of
Pinkzilla?
split
Like,
the
is everyone here happy that he's pink now, or do we have anybody here that's like not happy? I'm curious.
I like the pink.
I'm on half. Like here's the thing. I'm welcoming of pink. Like I'm like it's cool, it's a new color, but if as a classic Godzilla fan, and if I had to choose the color, and also thinking about what more fans would prefer personally, I probably would have gone with red. But in case you haven't noticed, I made a couple edits depicting it as red. So for those that don't like the pink, I'll be fixing it for you with my own GXK cut.
Yeah, I don't think
it's interesting because all those leaks, like earlier on, like when we saw the leaked dorsal plates and the leaked beast glove and like the leaked phosphor wing, like it looked more like red, like it looked a bit more like a washed out red, but like now we're actually seeing it, it's just like straight up magenta. So it's like, it's weird. I wonder if they originally intended it to be more red, and then when they were testing it out, went, actually, I'm really liking this pink look.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure Adam
kind of
Wingard
the
said
opinion.
something about
He
that,
said-
that he personally
yeah.
chose pink on purpose.
Well, I don't know. I haven't seen anything about him saying anything about the pink specifically, but he told me why, or not. Didn't tell me. I wish he told me. He told everyone in that I talked to Adam. No, he said in that interview with what was it, Total Films, that he just wanted it all to look like an '80s toy store line, which I'm starting to think it's more than just an '80s toy store line. Yeah, he just wanted to do his own crazy, colorful remembrance of the '80s and '90s, to where everything was very colorful. Like you can go and look at that new T-shirt for Shimo, like the T-shirt design that they have that kind of shows his whole body, and it's literally the exact same color scheme as 1990s Taco Bell. And I know that Adam was born in '82. So he was a kid in the 80s and like a early teenager and stuff in the 90s. So he's just reliving his past is my that's my bet. He loves that 90s synth thing. And the
And even
world in
then-
general is just up kind of Vice City kind of look right now.
I'm pretty sure he's like being a bit more like metaphorical about that 80s like toy store line as well, because like toy stores, obviously everyone knows that toy stores used to be better, and even in like the early 2000s and 90s and 80s, like going to a toy store that was like a life-changing experience for a child. And I think
Fair.
he wants that kind of like awe-inspiring feeling for the film, not just like, oh, it was colorful, but like you walk in and it's like a new world, like you going into the hollow earth, and it's going to be like an incredible awe-inspiring experience. And I think he wants you to look at the like, new Godzilla and be like, this like visually is awe-inspiring and like unique, you know.
Honestly, people should have seen it coming a while ago, because if you looked at the scenes from the Hong Kong fight, I mean, there was a ton of pink in there. He did mention about his appreciation for like that synthwave sort of aesthetic. You know, a lot of 80s tones here and there. So yeah, pink was there, and all he needed to do was just make Godzilla a different color for him to fit that color palette, right? And he says that Godzilla is, I think he kind of just found a good excuse, you know, because they say, oh, pink is another more radioactive color or whatever. Sure.
Yep.
And it just so happened to be pink and fit his color palette.
I heard something about a color meter depicting it as if pink is like the hottest temperature, I guess. Like, I don't know if that's
the most radioactive,
most energy or something. Yeah,
the electromagnetic spectrum. Basically, like pink is usually used to describe energy sources that aren't really measurable. So, like energy in space, they'll often use like this magenta pink color. So basically, what they're saying is Godzilla's new pink color is like off the charts for like power, as in.
Yeah, but that's kind of cool. In my opinion, the fact, not that he turned pink, but rather that he can actually evolve to absorb all sorts of energy. And here's my prediction. We haven't seen the last of Godzilla's evolution yet, maybe, because he runs into something, he sees another opponent, he has to evolve to some form. And I think that's like really cool. That's a really cool attribute about Godzilla that they're establishing in the MonsterVerse, the fact that he can absorb any energy that he needs to face X foe. So and it also I actually saw one of warstu's videos, and then he was talking about how they like rely on toy sales a lot.
Yeah, they do.
To that point, I'm glad he actually talks about it, because every year not every year, but like every movie that comes out, it's good to sell new figures, because I mean that's good for the franchise, right?
Oh, yeah.
So if you're not going to sell the same Godzilla every single freaking year, right?
Yeah,
so you need to change them a little bit. So it's going to get boring. So you can make it to where Godzilla absorbs this pink energy, or now in the next installment he'll absorb a red energy or something. You know, something that makes Godzilla, the MonsterVerse Godzilla, more collectible, if you will, because I'm buying all those figures. I have the blue one, I have the 2014 one, I got the thermal Godzilla, I'm getting that pink one, you know, and then whenever they come up with a red one, green one, orange one, I mean, they already have the orange, but yeah, you know what I mean. Like,
yeah, they've got those green
catch them all.
Rainbowzilla, I'll have that.
But yeah, speaking of figures, though, there's a guy I know on Instagram that's been doing a great job making figures. Like, he's been painting figures for the longest time that I've known him for. His name is Walter the Only One. He's painted the red Godzilla. He's also painted him blue, and we have yet to see other colors also. So shout out to Walter the Only
Here's
One.
a question for you.
What's the question?
Yeah, what's y'all's favorite guy? What would y'all's Godzilla be? Red? I'd go with green. I think I'd been wanting to see a green
like
one.
skin color, or like atomic breath, like kind of spine.
Like, yeah, and his power up. You know, like Joe made a funny point of like, yeah, they got all these, got to catch them all the different versions. So it's like, what's your? We have our Pink Ranger. What color do you want?
Yeah, I mean, Zilla Jr.
for his atomic energy,
breath, didn't he?
I like the one Gabe made. The
he
white
did
one.
have green atomic.
The one that Gabe made, the
white was
white
cool,
one,
too.
yo, that one is dope. That was my favorite. I was like,
The white
dude,
one made me
yeah.
think of like Raiden or something. It made me think he was
Oh,
that was
yeah.
the most godly.
I remember
Like
seeing
if they
some
ever
concept
truly
art.
want to make Godzilla go God mode, I think white would be cool.
There was
Yeah.
some concepts up for
They
Godzilla vs.
did
Kong
make
where it had
white
white
once
dorsal plates
in-
and it looked like sick. I was like, I want it to look like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did actually make Godzilla white once, and it was in the gemstone. It was like a Rex, which
Yeah.
I remember you, Jacob, in your video kind of called him a sex toy, Gigan Rex.
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, hey, it
That
was
shit had
something
me
about all.
dying.
They just were too smooth looking and just looked like they would go
He looks
anywhere
like
you wanted to
Ferrari. He
It looks
easily.
plastically as
Like
plastic as hell.
It looks like
a Ferrari.
plastic.
Like a
Yeah.
toy.
Was better, didn't we?
looks like a car, like a Ferrari or like a Lambo.
Mhm. Yeah, like Snowzilla would be kind of
Like,
cool.
yeah,
Snowzilla.
Yeah, they
like,
actually, yeah, that
and
one
incarnation.
Yeah, they had like this one cameo of Godzilla. I forgot for what, but like it was basically Godzilla and he was like covered in snow. He was like white, gray, and everything. That was pretty cool. Reminded me of the one that Gabe made. So I think
Italian.
that's a good one. You know,
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, obviously, we've seen
But-
like on like the figures and kind of in some of the concept art for Godzilla Kong that he has a Thagomizer. Do we think he's going to have a new atomic tail whip ability with that Thagomizer? Because that would seem
Oh, hell yeah.
That would be pretty interesting.
like as soon as a Thagomizer
Okay.
hits something, it's like
Yeah.
explodes or something.
yeah, like a boom, like because that would be so.
Oh, it
sick.
has like an impact force. Yeah, and he also has those little
That'd be cool.
those blades on his elbows.
Yeah.
So that would be interesting to see. Like, I'm expecting him to use them definitely as like. I mean, we've seen Godzilla use his claws before and like scratch on stuff, but he's never really been much of a. He's got tiny little bitty teeth and he's got tiny little claws. I mean, they do damage, but this would be the first time that we actually see Godzilla monster. See him throw an elbow with those big human arms he has now, with those claws, and just bang, and then he could spin around and whap him with the tail. This version of Godzilla is 100% allowing him to be the most true fighter yet, because every single version of Godzilla we've seen so far is pure brute. Like he's just gonna throw his body at him every once in a while. He'll do a nifty little move to where like no, he isn't just a big dumb brute. He is a smart fighter. He's tactical. He'll throw a little tail whip in there to slip you up a little bit. But I think this is the first time we're actually going to see Godzilla like doing some actual combos, like an elbow. Then
Imagine Scar King climbing on Godzilla's back, and then freaking Godzilla just elbows him in the face with that spike.
Gives him make him that true Scar King. Give him a big old scar across the face or something. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I think they could really do a lot with Godzilla, but I think we've talked about the old G-Man enough. Let's move on to something else here.
Scar King and the fact that how he's going to be.
One thing.
Oh, go on. I'll let you do it.
Well, there's one topic I really wanted to like dive into, and warstu. I just got to say this now. You definitely pissed a couple people off by this, and made a few Karens cry on Twitter about it. But there is one question everybody I'm seeing a bit here in the comments here, and before I specifically answer this, before I specifically give the official answer, which is only currently that we know of, but is Shimo a male or female? Doesn't matter, honestly. I mean, it's a Titan. Like, I don't really see what all the fuss up is all about the gender for. Like, we're getting a new monster in general. How many female villains have we had in the past before? Like, we had Muto Prime, Biolante, Megaguirus, the female Mutos, the Kong's parents. Like, there's plenty of female kaijus out there, especially Tiamat. I think Tiamat's also a female also.
Female, yeah.
I think logistically, like Shimo makes a lot of sense to be female, because if it is really like the mother of all Titans, like the first Titan, it makes sense to have it be female. But like I don't really care at the end of the day. Like it could be male or female. I'm not going to start crying about it in the comments.
It's not like you're actually going to be able to tell the difference. Really, it's an animal at the end of the day.
It's woke Hollywood, and most of the people commenting don't. probably won't even watch the movie. It's just woke Hollywood. It's just wokeness coming out, and it's not woke, but it's the woke Hollywood is why everyone's reacting to it potentially being a female. It doesn't really matter though.
Yeah.
It's the wokeness.
But here's one
true.
reason,
That's
actually.
true.
I do have one friend, actually. He's a 3D animator, and he actually has a really good theory about why people could possibly be upset about this. I'm going to add him here in a second. His name is Darko Darks. I don't know if I know Methlo, you know him, and probably anybody else that's in the chat knows. But I'll continue real quick. Darks. Okay. So anyway, when it comes to Shimo being a female, honestly, sorry, go ahead.
Theme song.
No, go ahead.
See, this film might have the first like musical track that actually carries on from the previous film, which is crazy that that's the first time it's happened in the MonsterVerse, because we've got like 3 different Godzilla themes now.
Yeah, for real. Like, I wonder if it's gonna be anything classic or if it's just gonna be something new. Like, I hope for classic, but I'm not really putting much money of a bet into it, mainly after GBK. Like, I don't hate the GBK soundtrack of it. I just low-key prefer Bear Mercury. I guess I'm just a fanboy.
That's gonna feel naked without a classic track.
I was about to
I
say,
love
did
the
you
one
just say
from King of the
Yeah.
Monsters.
Yeah, I'd imagine
I do
if
miss that theme a lot.
Mothra coming back is true, that we're gonna get some classics, because I think Toho's officially like opened their minds to allowing other other, at least Legendary here with the MonsterVerse, to have fun with, Toho, I don't know, copyright, trademark stuff. So I imagine they're probably going to make it even easier on them and allow them to. And I think they're not dumb. At least I'd like to hope they're not dumb. And I think they would see that, like, from the last movie, like, the fans really want a little bit more of that classic, bum bum bum. Especially after Minus One, where they threw it in our face, and so it went over so well.
Like another kind of rip-off, like classic track though, because like the Godzilla vs. Kong Godzilla theme is like another version of the Dies Irae, whatever it's called, which is like a slightly.
Yeah, I mean, it still had a good Godzilla sound to it. It just wasn't as memorable. Like, everybody loved King of the Monsters so much that it was hard to follow up.
I love that.
They made a theme for 2014 and went, nah, it's maybe a different one.
It wasn't boomy enough.
It wasn't boomy enough, no.
Definitely intense, though.
It was.
We talk about Scargate.
But yeah, what I'm thinking right now, Darko, since you're in here, would you like to explain your theory about why people are not happy about Shimo being a female? Which I believe it could be an interesting shock to some people, for those that don't know yet.
Yeah, definitely I can. So the idea behind this is that I think people are mad about this is because if Shimo is a Godzilla species or some part of a Godzilla species, and she is a female, it could lead into a Godzilla Junior, and that could lead into Godzilla getting killed off as the story progresses. That's why I think a lot of people are mad about that.
I definitely think there's a good chance that Godzilla might croak in this one. I'm honestly but they're still gonna like replace him, because like you can't you get rid of Godzilla, the franchise might as well stop, right? Because it's like killing off your main character.
Replacement.
I know Shimo, no, but if they had a baby, if they had a baby. Oh, guess what? Here's another weird little crazy thing to throw in there. The ice episode of the Godzilla 98 cartoon, to where Godzilla finds his little girlfriend, the little Komodo.
Oh, God.
I don't know. The Komodo dragon looking thing is called like Komodo Threx or something weird like that. Not saying that this is a play on that, but that just so happens to be in a snow environment, and it just so happens to be Godzilla.
An Easter egg.
And maybe a little Easter egg. I mean, you never know. It seems like Adam does pay attention to like the past, like I guess my like kind of age groups, Godzillas and all of them in general. Like, he's not ignoring because like he's not ignoring like the Zilla stuff, the Zilla timeline, or that's like
Well,
I think he's trying to get as much
Wasn't
influence
it?
from everything into it. So maybe. I
Oh
don't
yeah,
know.
I remember
saw
him
that
saying
hint.
something that Toho fans would be happy, but that he's gonna have a couple things for Toho fans also. So maybe we could still get something serious, somewhat, in a way.
Yeah, who knows?
But whatever happens, happens. To be honest.
Yeah, I read that too. I think we might actually get a few like clear reference. You know how Godzilla versus Kong had those references from, like, for example, that one scene where Kong shoves that tree down Godzilla's throat, and then it was kind of there
Yep.
with the
Use
axe.
his axe or whatever.
Oh
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I
We're
think
getting
we're gonna
close.
get a
Real slime.
callback
We're gonna
to
get
that
it definitely.
because
We're
I
getting
hear
flying
that.
Godzilla, man.
I do have to
I mean-
call this out though about the MonsterVerse. They are definitely known for taking things from fan animators. Like I can name 2 animators right now that they have taken from. I don't know if you guys ever heard about Ziamot. Zaymot
Zamat?
Animations, I think is his name. Yeah, he
it's
made this.
epic. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. He made a GVK video, and coincidentally, some of the shots, hell, even the poster, it pretty much literally matches it.
Is that the one
And that
like
video-
the 2D animated one?
Yeah, that video
Yeah.
was epic, and like they should have taken inspiration from that video because of how good it was. So if
They
they've
did.
seen it and they took something,
They-
they're
they
like,
did,
hey,
though.
It was like shooting at him and Kong was in the water and stuff. That felt kind of familiar.
Yeah, there was multiple parts, especially with the part where Godzilla was coming to the city and Kong was just there. That they literally took the poster from that. And in one of Methlo's old animations, he had a shot where Godzilla was shooting up into the sky underwater, and it just looked cool.
Yeah.
But there is cool.
Yeah.
But there is one other thing I do have to call about the MonsterVerse, though. It's just too hilarious for me to like not ignore. And I also want to bring someone in here. Actually, some of you guys may know him as Moist Man or Monko nowadays, but I'd want him to be here for this specific part. Yes. So once he comes in, I'm gonna call it out.
well, he can
But-
come in and take my place because I gotta go pick up my car from the shop. I'm sorry, everyone. I gotta head on out. He can take my spot
Aw, man,
talking,
you're
so
good.
there's less people in here. So you guys,
Okay.
I
Oh,
wanted
yeah,
to
of
talk to
course.
old Moist Man. He makes fun stuff too. We'll have to do this again. It's been a pleasure. I will still be here.
Oh, yeah, of
Everyone
course.
else-
You're welcome back to
You
come
guys-
back anytime. I promise next time
Yeah,
it'll
man.
be.
I'd still be
We'll have
here,
much better,
but
we'll
life,
have much better preparation.
yeah,
you'll still be
life
here in a
calls me
while.
away. You guys have fun.
It
I'll
happens.
talk to
It
everyone
happens.
later.
Yeah. Shout out to
Alright.
Jacob, everybody.
It's okay,
Go
man.
subscribe to Dangerville
Peace.
Yeah,
Shenanigans.
round of
Later.
I've got to go as well because I've got 20 minutes before the shop's close. 'Cause it's nearly 10,
All
10
right.
p.m.
All right.
Go on, son.
But
right, you're good,
If
you're good.
you guys ever do this again, I'll jump in
Yeah,
again.
of course. You're welcome back
Longer
anytime,
next time.
dude. Yeah, of
Alright,
course.
so
We'll
appreciate it.
better
Yeah,
prepare
man.
this next time. Like this was just the debut of this. Like this is the first time me actually setting this up and actually executing it. So this is more of like just a test run, I guess you could say.
You read my mind.
Sweet. So
Literally.
yeah, cool, talking to you guys.
But yeah,
Peace.
of course. Shout out to warstu, everybody. Go subscribe to him.
Shout
He releases plot leaks sometimes and talks
Shout
about
out to you,
them.
man.
Yes, of course.
Really happy to meet you.
I've actually got loads of plot leaks from an actual test script, but I don't leak stuff. I actually know exactly what happens in this movie, but I never talk about stuff.
Yeah,
like
no,
that.
I know. It's just as general as a whole. It's like leaks to everybody else, you know. But
Anyway,
hey,
peace.
you were right. Yes, real quick though, you
Peace,
were right
man.
about shit. Real quick, guys, he was right about GVK. One of the leaks he said he described the intro so well about Kong waking up in the morning, going to do his thing. He nailed that shit exactly. I was fucking shocked, to be honest. But anyways, now that Moist Man's here, welcome to the pod, brother.
Thank you.
First time meeting you here.
Sorry for being so
First
quiet.
time hearing you.
I was in the middle of eating dinner. So
Oh no, you're good.
I'm
You're good,
here
bro.
now.
You're
Yeah,
good.
how's
What were you
everyone
eating?
doing?
Yeah, what are you eating?
Oh, I was just dinner. It was just some leftover. How is everyone doing then?
Ooh. Oh, I'm chilling. How about you?
Good, yeah. It's just
Yeah,
a bit
doing great, man.
That's great.
Mm,
Now that you're here, I know you wanted to be here for this part. So
yes.
one thing I gotta call about the MonsterVerse out is its size consistency. Ever since starting from 2014, What the fuck is going on with Godzilla's size? One moment he's just as big, if not way bigger, outscaling all the aircraft carriers. But we get to GVK, he's barely the size of it. The hell's going on with that? Did they have like bigger aircrafts back then, or what's going on here?
I mean, the basic answer is that it's cool as fuck. That's the.
Oh yeah, it's definitely cool.
Basic answer.
It's definitely cool. Oh yeah, I fuck with it.
really
Yeah, I
true.
fuck with it. Yeah, I fuck with it, but I just noticed that I just noticed a bit of inconsistency when it comes to visuals sometimes. Mainly in 2014. The other films I've seen a little bit of it, but it seemed to improve over time when it comes to keeping it in scale.
As far as I know,
Because
that-
originally-
what they
Godzilla versus
stood on
Kong.
is a different kind of aircraft carrier, which is actually much bigger. But even then, like he shouldn't have been nearly as big as he was in 2014. You know, swimming next to those aircraft carrier being like twice as long.
Yeah, I do wonder about that scene specifically because I did hear. Maybe you guys can verify this, but this is just something I heard. I heard that originally in 2014, Godzilla was supposed to be like 200 meters or some shit, but it was too big, of course. So I do wonder, did they actually make scenes during that concept? And was that aircraft carrier scene a part of it, or was it maybe just part of the whole? Oh, it's just cool.
I think Gareth Edwards from the start has just, whenever he was questioned about it, he was like, "Oh, it just looks cool." Like you got to exaggerate certain things for certain shots to just kind of frame them in a certain way. So I think with the size, he's kind of like thrown the consistency out the window just to deliver something that looks cooler. And I think they've gotten better at size consistency since then, because they kind of have like different philosophies to Gareth Edwards.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, the biggest scene, because like the ocean underneath is supposed to be 300 feet deep, and that's how tall he's supposed to be in the movie.
Yeah, his head would just be sticking out.
Yeah, so they had
Bro,
to double
just
the
walking
height.
so casually.
I don't know. Maybe
He's
that
pointing
universe,
that-
the
this- that
river's
reminds
not
me-
that deep. Or
Yeah, that
He's just
reminds me of
so
one more
buoyant.
scene. Yeah, it's cool. But there's one more scene that actually reminds me of that. I think it was in King of the Monsters actually when Godzilla was coming out, and I once saw this funny art of Godzilla just casually just standing there when he's just coming out, while in the ocean it was like super deep, and now he's just standing up. So I don't know. Maybe
He was
Godzilla's able
walking
to hold his
on
own
water.
weight. Yeah, literally. I think he should be Jesus-Zilla at this point because I mean Jesus walking on water.
And
But yeah.
both King of the Monsters Godzilla and the Minus One Godzilla, both of them were standing out there on the water.
Oh yeah. Speaking of Minus One, actually, how do you guys feel about Minus One?
best
Love it.
movie I've
Right.
seen in a while.
It's so great.
I really wish I saw it in 4D, but they
absolutely
didn't have any
no
screenings available.
negatives.
Same. I was gonna watch it in 4D, but they ran out. I was so annoyed.
Yeah, they did it for like one day, and I was like, I've got to watch it in IMAX first. I'll watch it in 4D later, but no, they didn't have any.
Well, at least you had a theater to watch and the movie.
Well,
Yeah, it was like
there's always other
15 days
ways.
late. There is. No, yeah, I mean, since I was young, I've always like watched that the short film he made for the beginning of Always Sunset. I was like, I'd love a Godzilla film set in 1940s Japan. That would be like a dream. It's like a Godzilla horror film period piece, and they've delivered that. And it is honestly like the film that I've been wanting for a long time. Like this and 2014 are like two of my favorite Godzilla films. My only complaint is I kind of wish that his. Is anyone afraid of spoilers? Does anyone not want spoilers? Has it
I'm
been
not
long
afraid.
enough?
I mean, I think it's been long enough for now. If
saw them
anybody
over.
has,
I know some
anybody
people
hasn't
haven't
really
been able to
seen
watch
it.
it yet.
Oh yeah, I understand it.
but-
I understand that some countries,
when you, like,
unfortunately, it's not able to get it,
when,
which I'll be speaking on in a second.
When that the girl survived at the end, I was like, "Ayo, she should be like incinerated, surely." And I kind of wish there was like just one more Godzilla, like just a bit more of Godzilla on land, because we basically just have like one scene of him on land, and then like he kind of trudges through the fields at the end, and then goes back into the water. I think it needed just like one more.
I do
but
wish
still,
he
like,
attacked
it
the
is like a
city
9
twice,
out of
like he
10
did
for me.
54. yeah.
just
I
like
love-
that. That's like if you thought -1 was like horrendous enough, like he then goes in again. It's like to
Oh god.
add insult to injury.
And cause way more destruction than what he did.
Oh.
Longer scenes, longer destruction, and fight more ships. Like fight like 3 ships that fire at him.
It's just the middle
Well,
act kind of starts to get
well, at the same.
slow. It just needed like another
Oh
thing.
yeah. Oh yeah, but at the same time, though, we got to remember that this is right after like World War II, and Japan's already like suffered quite a bit, so they don't really have much to work with to fight. They just got out of a war from.
Yeah, we see them suffering in like other ways as well. Like they can barely feed themselves.
And there's something else I would
it was pretty sad. What
There's
is
something else I would have loved about this movie. You know exactly what I'm gonna say. For this movie
Go
to
ahead,
be
what is
rated
it?
R.
Ah, yes, rated R. Okay, here we go. Here we go with this. Now,
Is it
this
rated
leads
R?
to
Yep.
another topic of discussion, a question. Should Godzilla have at least one R-rated film?
I mean, to be fair,
At least one.
-1 was surprisingly brutal. Like I think that was a good balance because it was still PG-13, I think, and that was fairly. The scenes with Godzillasaurus, those were genuinely kind of terrifying. With him just throwing.
Yeah,
But
there was
don't-
some like blood splats and like burns and dismembered faces with Godzilla's like head blown up.
Exactly.
So there was quite a lot.
And also,
Don't you wish those scenes with Godzillasaurus to be more bloody? Like when he was eating those guys, I mean, he wasn't even eating them, he was just throwing them away. Don't you wish there was like members, hands, legs coming out from his mouth? Like that.
I mean,
would
I
love
don't
that.
think that even would be rated R still, because I mean, you have Jurassic Park, you have maimed people and everything, and it's still PG-13. For a Godzilla film to be rated R, you'd have to have like smaller animals that can cause like personal levels sort of damage, like I don't know, like an Indominus Rex, for instance, or no, an Indoraptor type shit. Like if you need a rated R movie,
We do.
you have like smaller animals in this Godzilla movie that will completely screw up people left and right. You can have them poke their eyeballs out, smash their heads, rip their heads off, or whatever, because Godzilla just seems too big to do those little things to humans. Like the worst thing he can do is either just fry them or just squish them with one footstep. There's only so much you can do there. So
I think you do see people's like
What about
limbs
the debris?
coming off when he stomps in on like the street, and you see people go flying. I think there's like dismembered arms and legs and stuff for like that. Like if you look really closely, but like it's something that you wouldn't really notice unless you're like pausing it and looking close.
yeah, it needs to be
Mhm.
right in your face, though. Like
Yeah,
they,
like,
if
yeah,
they
Have a
wanted to,
Debris.
yeah, like if they wanted to, if they have a Destroya in the Monsterverse, that 100% can be rated R, because you remember Destroya evolves from different forms, and you have like smaller
Mhm.
ones, and like those things can really do some damage to people. If they
Oh,
wanted
yeah,
to,
yeah.
which I know they won't, but they can.
And he's got like ticks, like kind of like small but still pretty big ticks that come off him. Because who knows, like what like small creatures would like cling on to these gigantic monsters. Well, that's what Cloverfield
Yeah.
did pretty well, is because he did have ticks.
Oh yeah, that's
Mhm.
true. I wish it wasn't found footage style, because that style was just horrible. I hated that kind of
Right.
style of filming.
Yeah, but it made it kind of like, it made it scary, didn't it? It made it like creepy.
Yeah, it was. It was. I can't argue with that.
I wonder if they're going to do it for the sequel though, because they're
They
making another one.
I wish they would.
Oh
make
yeah, they
another one.
said they want to take their time. They said they want to take their time with it, and apparently have a perfect balance between a monster fight and also the human story. Which honestly, I believe that's honestly the smartest decision and something that we could use. Like, just imagine a film with an actual good human story that's interesting and also able to maintain a monster fight. Imagine that.
Pacific
I
Rim.
believe that's the best before.
With the budget they had, they did so much.
The
With a
first
$15
Pacific
million
Rim movie was exactly like you described.
I think it was confirmed that like Minus One only had like $10 million now instead of 15 million. So that it makes it even more incredible, like what they did.
Yeah, apparently it's like 10 million a year.
Yeah.
It's like 10 million or some shit.
I heard about
Which
it.
that's just a big
Wow.
embarrassment to Hollywood and Disney as a whole. Like Disney is like just losing, throwing away money. Like I'm pretty sure half of that's being laundered, but despite that, like they're throwing millions of dollars into the movie and it just looks like shit. But you got $10 million for Minus One and it looks better than freaking She-Hulk. Like what the fuck was that?
From, like,
It can't be
shooting
true
on
right now.
location. They think they have to make everything in a studio, so everything costs like tens of millions of dollars for like shooting something simple. While like Japan is like, oh, you want an office scene? We'll just shoot in an office. Like
they also took their time. They also took their time, and from what I haven't heard anything bad about them abusing their VFX artists there or actors. So it must be a better work environment there than it is at Disney or any of these other fucking studios out there.
Pretty well known.
Unless you work in the Disney company.
Work
Unless you work
is like horrendous, especially for VFX artists. But like it's pretty horrendous in the US as well, and the UK. It's like it's pretty much a worldwide thing.
Jesus. Yeah, every part of the world's got their own issues. But speaking of American stuff again, there is one more. There's one more Godzilla thing that did come out not too long ago, and it just concluded season 1, Monarch Legacy of Monsters. What do you guys have to say about that shit?
I loved it.
It was awesome. It was so cool.
Take episode 5 and just throw it into fire.
I have mixed feelings. Okay, I have mixed feelings about it. Not just from that alone, but it's just like some of the episodes just felt a bit filler with the whole family drama thing. Some things just didn't feel like necessary to me. Like I get the lack of monster action. That I can like understand because it's the point of the show is to focus on the people of Monarch. And you know what? Personally, I like the past characters better, and my character the whole entire show is Shaw.
Hell yeah, same
in the genre. In my opinion.
That guy is a top G to me because bro is like he'll do anything to get what he wants while still caring for everybody around him. Like at the part when he broke into that when he broke into that base or whatever, like he was like, "You guys have the choice. You can leave or you can join us." Like he gave everybody a choice. I was like, "Damn, okay." Like I like this guy better than Alan Jonah because Alan Jonah is just a fucking savage, just killing everybody.
Even to like the end, when like one of the first things he said to Keiko, he was like, "That's my job," and like one of the last things he said to Keiko before he jumped out of he was trying to jump into jumped out to help with them escape the Axis Mundi was, "I'm doing my job." So it's like even to the end, he's like still doing his job for others, to protect others, and he's just like an absolute G.
Yeah. We need more characters like him in the MonsterVerse. Honestly.
Yeah, we do.
I just hope we see
my favorite.
We had Ford Brody. What happened to him? What happened to him? They just deleted him out of existence
I'm
like
not
that.
gonna lie. Like even though I wasn't exactly the biggest fan of Ford Brody, I'm not exactly a fan of just throwing away characters that you just started off with. One of the biggest fuck ups, in my opinion, is in 2014 was definitely killing off Joe Brody. In my opinion, I can think of a better story where Joe Brody lives and actually does things, and then Ford Brody dies. Here's what I'm thinking personally: in the movie, instead of Joe Brody dying, Ford Brody dies. Joe Brody is so upset about the loss of his son, he's ready to give up on everything. But then he realized that his son still has a family out there. He's got to do something. And so the rest of the movie would have him pretty much just keep exploring and try to expose what's out there and try to tell the military like what the fuck's up and everything, and that these things are dangerous, mainly the Mutos. I wanted to see him and know about Godzilla personally, but it seems he never knew anything about Godzilla. It's just about the fucking Mutos.
Yeah, I think it made for an emotional, departure when it was like a realistically done, death scene where he wasn't like theatrically crying. He was like freaking out. He was like shaking his head, like he was like put his hands in his face. Like it was done well, and I appreciate that. But I just wish it happened like later on in the film. Like every time I watch it, I'm like, this is so good. Give us an extra like 20 minutes at least, please. Give us some more of this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was way too damn early when they killed him off.
You know what I think is a missed opportunity? A missed opportunity. I think the story arc of what could have been Ren Serizawa, he could have had a really good story arc.
Yeah, man.
Cut him off.
Definitely.
In the book.
Yeah, in the book it was really 100%. Interesting. Yeah. You know, the fact that his father
watched the film the first time, I was like, that was great, but like, what was up with Ren Serizawa coming in and dying? Like, what?
Yeah, that was here's the thing: there was more scenes with Ren Serizawa that we were supposed to learn about. Actually, there was a scene with Nathan at the bar. They were like, "My name is Ren Serizawa. You probably know my father." That scene alone would have helped like general audiences understand, like, oh, this guy's the son of the other guy. No one fucking knows that this. Well, at least if you're not a G fan or have watched the other movies, nobody knows that this guy is someone's son. Nobody knows.
There's a version of that film that could have been so much better, because I wish we got that original intro where Nathan Lynn lost I think it was his girlfriend originally, then they replaced it with his brother. But originally, like, we see his team trying to go in the Hollow Earth, and we see him lose his girlfriend, and then he becomes this like drunk alcoholic, and then they've got that scene with Ren Serizawa and him, and it's like there's so much depth they could have added to this character, and they just went, test audiences are just kind of like, where are the monsters? So you know what? Let's just get rid of all the character development.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I see what you mean.
Well, we got a dip, guys. So,
well,
it was great.
It was nice to have you on, man. Yeah, it's great to have you on, man. Especially for the first time. Like, again, like, you're welcome to come back in the future, and we'll definitely do this a lot better and set it up better next time. That's for sure. Yeah. But if you guys aren't subscribed,
for me as well. So
check out Gojicenter.
I've got it out.
All right. Well, everyone that's in here, go subscribe to Dangerville and Gojicenter if you guys aren't already, which I don't know how you're not, but both of them have their own kind of takes. Gojicenter does battle analysis, and I guess you could say, pretty much just analysis, like, as a way to describe it. In Dangerville, they have their own analysis and talk about news. So check them out.
Yeah, peace out, guys. Have fun.
Peace.
Peace out to you both.
Man.
Peace out.
Good to talk to you.
Anyway, welcome Alzilla to the live. This is Alzilla09. I knew him for many years. OG of the community. He's been around for the longest time. Best known for his Shigoken Kiryu unboxing.
Yeah. Hi everyone. Very nice to meet all of you. Sorry I'm late for the party.
It's all right. It's all right.
Good, man. You're good.
Sorry. It's 8. You know what they say. Better late. You know what they say. Better late than never.
Yeah, I hear ya. Honestly, I would have rather been here than doing stupid demos for Walmart.
Well, it's okay, because like this will happen again in the future at some point. I don't know when yet, but it definitely will.
Yeah.
But anyways, we were just talking about what were we even talking about again? I kind of got sidetracked and lost it.
Ren Serizawa. And,
Ren Serizawa.
Nate.
Yeah.
Darko, since you're a bit quiet, what do you have to say about Ren?
Honestly, there's not much I to say. He's just like a side character. He was trying to be like a main character, but he had nothing there for him.
Easily forgettable, right?
True, yeah, it is.
How about you, boys?
I think if you had like a fight with like it was like a scene where he's like controlling Mechagodzilla and he was fighting Godzilla, that would be a good one to keep. But I don't think that they even had that. That would be a good scene to have as well.
It would have, yeah. I know he definitely has some sort of hatred for Godzilla, and I wish that was explored a little bit more, but maybe we will, and maybe in Monarch Season 2 we could possibly get that, because it seems that I heard that apparently they wanted to bring back Serizawa Not Ren, but other Serizawa, but the actor was like busy shooting other things. So maybe in season 2 we can get him. Who knows? He was name dropped after all.
Yeah.
But Moist, what do you have to say about Ren as a whole? Even though there's not much to really say about him.
I forgot he existed. I'll be honest.
Exactly. There's not much. That's what I'm saying. There's not much to say. But what is there to say? Other than
I have to say something. Why is he in the movie?
Yeah.
Exactly. Literally
It's
at
never
that
been
point, just take him out.
established. It's never been
literally-
established that Serizawa had a son, so why add it now?
Exactly.
You can
They
literally,
could have done something else.
you can literally remove him from the movie, replace him with some other employee, and it wouldn't change anything really. Like it's only if it's mainly for fans. Like if you're a fan of the franchise and you know what's going on, that's the only way you're gonna know who the fuck this guy is. But other than that, you're not gonna know jack shit if you're not really much of a fan or been following up.
Exactly, yes.
But yeah, there is one scene though. I am a bit like speculative about, and I'm just like, why? Well, I can see why, but like at the same time, it's like why? The ending of Monarch Legacy of Monsters, Apex on Skull Island and Kong now.
I'm really curious. What are they
2017?
doing on Skull Island?
In 2017 of all times, what's up with that?
Yeah.
I mean,
Like what?
sorry, they're looking for the power source, some form of power source, and from their knowledge right now, Skull Island is the only place where it's technically Hollow Earth on the surface. So maybe they're just doing research, and this is before Monarch
That too.
comes back
But
to
here's-
Skull Island. So
Oh yeah, there is one thing though that I haven't really seen being talked about. I've seen a little bit, but not really much. Do you guys remember the post-credit scene in Godzilla King of the Monsters? Mechanized giants reported on Skull Island.
Yes, I remember that.
oh yeah,
Here's
Yeah, I
what
remember that thing.
Yes. So here's what I'm thinking. I believe Apex is on Skull Island, not just because of the Hollow Earth shit, but also because they're building Mechagodzilla there. And before Monarch kicks them out and doesn't find out about it, they probably have those underground tunnels to send him like piece by piece away from Skull Island to like Florida and Hong Kong, all those locations before Monarch goes ahead and kicks them out. And I believe if Monarch did find out, they probably will either have been bought by Apex or been assassinated. Because there's no way they're just gonna let that shit slide. And I wish Dangerville was still here for this part because he said this in methlokaijufan97's fan film Battle of Mechs. By the way, it's one of his best movies. But Apex likes to keep.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys think there's actually a possibility though for Mechanic Kong? I keep hearing that shit go around, but personally, I'm not really believing that, to be honest.
Yeah, me
don't
neither.
believe that either.
I don't see why they would make one. Think about it. Godzilla's the king, and he's like the most threatening one out of all of them. Why would they make a Kong one?
Yeah, exactly. What's the freaking point of that? It makes
Or
no sense. The only reason they would ever do that is just for fan service. That's the
Yeah.
only reason I can ever see them doing it.
who
Maybe
knows? It
maybe
could be
to test.
Jet Jaguar.
Oh yeah. Oh, Jet. Oh man. I wish these guys were still here for it. I heard something actually. That they actually had interest in Jet Jaguar, like the show writer or director. I forgot who was, but they commented about Jet Jaguar, saying that like they would want to work him in. Like it's obviously not gonna happen, obviously, but it's just like as like a fan asking the question. I'm like, oh shit, they actually thought about Jet Jaguar. That's interesting, especially for a multicolored robot that was meant for kids in the 70s. And also Mr. Eggman in freaking Godzilla Singular Point built. Wait, hold on. Are you able to still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's what I'm also thinking in Monarch Legacy of Monsters. I've seen also on KDM's page that apparently Kong is still King Kong, or is he just Kong? I'm still not able to really fully like understand that as a whole. But even if that was the case, this leads to another question of mine that I wanted to emphasize on. Is Kong worthy of being king? And this is going to lead to a friendly debate here, but this will be interesting. So, first off, I'm going to get you guys' opinions. Methlo, do you think Kong's worthy of being king?
I think he needs to win some good fight in order for him to be called a king. Like, to win the fight on his own, with no help from the humans or from any other Titan. That's my opinion.
Okay. Alzilla, what do you think? Do you think he's worthy of being King Kong yet right now?
I mean, as of right now, I agree with Methlo. He has to win a fight. He has to earn the title,
Exactly.
But as of right now, no. Sorry.
Okay. Moist, I never asked you this question before, but what do you think? Do you think Kong is worthy of being called King Kong right now?
Right now? Honestly, I want to say yes. I really do, because he's such a I'm Team Godzilla, but the last few movies have made me love Kong so much.
Oh yeah, he's definitely grown some balls.
He's just not, and I think it's pretty obvious where they're going with this. With GXK, it will most likely end with him becoming king once he defeats what's his name, Scar King.
That's what I'm thinking too. Yeah,
but we'll just have to wait and see. But right now, unfortunately, he's not. I can't say that.
Oh, I see. Okay. Now, Darko, how would you like to counter this with your take? Do you think Kong is worthy of being King Kong?
I think yes, in a different kind of sense of king. I mean, you say about he has to win a fight without any help with Titans or humans, but we've seen countless times that Godzilla needed help as well by humans. And to be a king, you also can't really be threatening your own life, and you have to be smart about it. If you get in a fight as a king, you need to learn when to back off a bit, because you can't really just die in a fight and leave your kingdom behind. So I think yes, some sense, and Kong does show that he's not scared, especially when he's outpowered by every kaiju. Even see when against Godzilla, he wasn't scared at all. He was quite intimidating, intimidate Godzilla. I think that shows the kind of character he is, and the fact that he also does need help like Godzilla, and shows that he's much more it's like the Batman vs Superman thing. If Superman wins, it's not that thing. It's not that important, you know what I mean? If Batman wins, it shows kind of characters, and even if he does lose, it shows that he went head to head with a god pretty much, and that's why I think Kong should be king, because he went against Godzilla. He fought 3 rounds with him. Wasn't scared. He did his own. He went quite good with it as well, without any powers or anything really. And I think that's why he's probably king to me. He's a different sense of king though. He isn't like a king of the monsters. He's probably king of Hollow Earth.
Yeah, he's a king of his own term.
Yeah, because when it comes to him fighting, sorry, go ahead, Al.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much, kind of agree with you. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm still Team Godzilla as well, but I do have mad respect for Kong, okay? When he was fighting Godzilla, I never thought that no way in hell did he suck. No, he proved that he can go toe-to-toe, with someone who is, above his level, and never back down. And that's something that, Godzilla himself respects, a king that never backs down,
Yeah, I agree.
I want to put it as well. It's like it's like with Godzilla and Ghidorah. Yes, he didn't back down. Yes, Ghidorah's bigger than him, but also Godzilla is pretty much the most powerful kaiju. He has the power to see. He knows he can take hits. Kong does not have any of that. He doesn't have armor. He doesn't have power. He doesn't have a breath. So even when against Godzilla, he was not scared. That shows quite a lot, and why he should be king, because he has nothing at all. I know Godzilla does not show fear either, but he has a reason. He has armor. He can take really bad hits. But then Kong comes to that, he has nothing. All he has is fur, and that only protects you a little bit. And the fact that he can Based Godzilla, even when like in the ocean, he knows he's outnumbed, he knows he's outmatched. He's like half asleep, and he still put a fight. Wasn't scared. That kind of shows you exactly kind of character he is.
You have a good point.
Yeah, you got some good points there. I'd say, yeah, he's definitely a king in his like own, in his like own. I guess you could say his own turf. Like when it comes to him fighting like other monsters, when it comes to many Godzilla's enemies, he doesn't really do like his own category of enemies.